Waalaikumsalam. Alhamdulillah, ya seperti mungkin Nandu dan teman-teman tahu, saya baru operasi kecil mata kemarin, jadi agak terhenti dari kegiatan lalu lalang sosial media karena saya sulit sekarang membaca teks. Tapi mendengar musik jalan terus lah ya.
Oke. Tadi mohon maaf ya teman-teman, tadi ternyata mic gue belum nyala jadi ulang lagi nih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat malam teman-teman semua ya yang udah bergabung di Facebook, udah lumayan nih sambil gue pantau terus. Ya tadi Kang Niman juga jelasin, Kang Niman baru ada undergo ini ya operasi katarak ya mata, dan udah semakin membaik sekarang. Alhamdulillah udah semakin baik ya. Mungkin malam ini kan sebenarnya kita mau ngobrol-ngobrol nih sama temen gue dari Malaysia nih yang udah bersiap mereka ya. Mungkin sebelum itu kita agak refresh dulu ya soal Grammy, karena buat gue sama Kang Niman nih tetap penasaran ya untuk ngobrolin Grammy gitu, bahwa dengan hasil-hasilnya yang cukup mengejutkan gitu. Oke, dari Kang Niman dulu mau komentar soal Grammy minggu lalu nih.
Sebenarnya lu tahu, gua tahu, hasilnya nggak mengejutkan.
Nggak, yang gua kaget itu sebenarnya karena kategori yang lain justru, bukan yang 4 kategori jazz itu sebenarnya, tapi yang itu ternyata isinya orang-orang jazz gitu sebenarnya.
Ya sepertinya kalau ya Nando perhatiin, saya perhatiin tuh di negerinya itu di Amerika, pemusik-pemusik yang berkecimpung di industri musik populer, jazz, apalagi black music, jazz, R&B, funk, fusion itu orangnya itu juga kali ya. Tapi kita bicara yang soalnya jazz aja dulu ya. Saya sebenarnya yang ingin saya garis bawahi adalah dari nama-nama yang dinominasikan, menang atau nggak menang bagi saya itu nomor sekian. Tapi yang pertama saya catat adalah itu album, katakanlah vokal album, instrumental album, atau yang album solo, itu sebisa mungkin kita miliki, sebisa mungkin kita intens dengar.
Iya, setuju.
Karena itu sudah tersaring dari yang seperti kita bilang kan kemarin, setiap tahun ada ribuan produk jazz yang bukan hanya biasa-biasa aja tapi bagus.
Iya.
Jadi waktu kita nyortirnya yang susah, apalagi belanja ya. Jadi kalau udah ada nominasi itu kayak kita dibantu.
Yes.
5. Jadi setahun 15 album bagi saya ya, di luar yang brass sama yang Latin itu jadi challenge bagi saya untuk segera melengkapi lah. Karena udah dijamin itu akan edukasi telinga kita yang ngerasa jazz. Itu sebenarnya garis bawah yang ingin saya sampaikan minggu lalu.
Betul sih ya. Terutama memang ya yang paling signifikan kan kayak yang menarik juga ini fakta di Grammy ya. Kalau misalnya teman-teman ada yang sempat check out website ya Grammy atau apa. Jadi gue mau coba mengamati 2 kategori ya. Kategori Best Improvised Jazz Solo sama Best Jazz Vocal. Itu ternyata ada catatan di situ. Catatannya adalah ketika jazz vokal, album yang isinya 51% lebih itu ada vokalnya. Menarik nih.
Bukan hanya selagu 2 lagu ya?
Iya, jadi 51% itu jadi masuk ke kategori jazz vokal gitu. Nah, sedangkan yang improvisasi itu album yang termasuk Best Jazz Album itu termasuk 51% instrumental. Jadi itu jadi batasan yang jelas gitu buat untuk mungkin ya di Grammy sendiri untuk menentukan kategori itu. Jadi semuanya nggak kecampur, dan ya gue nggak tahu sih kalau di Indonesia gimana ya sistem awarding atau apa. Cuma itu menarik sih buat gue karena artinya memang vokal jazz itu jadi mendapat tempat khusus gitu. Kalau di Indonesia nih ya, ini kan menurut pendapat gue gitu, yang terjadi kan ya bukan vokal jazz tapi album jazz yang ada vokalnya gitu. Kira-kira bisa kebayang nggak maksudnya gitu?
Seperti yang gue bilang soal rock jazz rock. Jadi
iya.
Kita tuh bukan vokal jazz tapi lebih ke jazz vokal gitu.
Iya, jazz album jazz yang ada vokalnya gitu.
Kalau gue jazz vokal itu adalah tag yang dibuat oleh perusahaan kaset pada zaman sebelum lisensi jazz vokal. Pokoknya asumsi agak ngejazz jazzy gitu, 20%, 30% sebutnya jazz vokal. Tapi dari situ kemudian kita sendiri yang akan mengalami dalam tanda kutip kesandung ya. Jatuh ke dalam kubangan jazz yang benar-benar jazz gitu kan. Waktu saya Aljero, kita dengerin 3 album pertama Aljero. Kalau kita suka yang berikutnya, bisa suka yang pertama, 3 album pertama itu bisa kemana-mana ya. Karena Bud Elling itu untuk yang mereka menyukai jazz vokal, umumnya nggak akan suka gitu.
Iya,
karena
betul,
itu vokal jazz.
Yes,
vokal
betul.
Jazz male lagi.
Karena mungkin satu-satunya dari kategori itu, dari vocal jazz itu yang memang masih seperti yang masih lumayan kerasa tradisinya gitu ya. Straight ahead jazz-nya tuh si Kenny Washington ya. Dan memang dia membawakan lagu, memang mainin standards juga. Tapi di luar itu, wah, isinya itu luar biasa. Ada Somi dan Frankfurt Big Band. Nah, ini juga perlu jadi catatan ya, Somi dan Frankfurt Big Band directed by John Beasley. Nah, John Beasley itu pernah ke Indonesia nih buat teman-teman. John Beasley itu pernah ke Indonesia mungkin 2019 atau 2020. Enggak, gue lupa sih pastinya. Itu ke Java Jazz. Jadi John Beasley itu project yang, dan termasuk John Beasley sebenarnya masuk juga di nominasi di kategori Large Jazz Ensemble. Itu John Beasley kan jadi dulu dia pertama ngeluarin album John Beasley Plays Monkestra gitu. Nah ini Monkestra Plays John Beasley dibalik gitu. Itu dan itu line up si pengisi-pengisinya brass section-nya itu top semua. Jadi mesti dicek juga tuh si John Beasley ini, dan albumnya Somi juga keren banget. Terus ya albumnya Tanah Alexa juga, itu unik sekali itu, Mang.
Ya, kalau Tanah Alexa, bukan bocoran, pengakuan saya sih, saya lebih suka album sebelumnya ya. Atau album di mana saya pertama kali kena. Bicara soal Somi, saya sukanya dengan katakanlah nominasi di Grammy atau di manapun juga, itu di sana-sini hadir nama baru, minimal bagi telinga saya ya. Kayak Somi, ternyata saya udah punya albumnya yang lama-lama gitu. Ya, Isel McLaurin Stalfong.
Ya, itu yang tahun lalu ya?
Itu, dan sekarang kalau nggak salah dia di Artemis ya. Jadi, dari 15 album setahun aja udah cukup sebenarnya bagi kita untuk bicara soal progres, pengetahuan, cita rasa jazz. Dan orang yang nggak suka big band, ada dominasi big band gitu, mau nggak mau, apalagi sekarang udah serba mudah ya, Spotify dan YouTube. Dulu harus nyari, men. Dulu harus beli. Nah, ada single dulu, album.
Iya, tapi
ya itulah.
Ya menang.
Yang non jazznya gimana? Terusin.
Oh ya, kalau dari yang non jazz, ya sebenarnya kan banyak banget pasti ada ya. Industri musik Amerika kan udah lumayan berkembang. Cuman yang gue garis bawahi juga ada beberapa kategori yang ternyata itu didominasi oleh orang nama-nama yang gak asing bagi jazz, dan yang menang juga kayak Robert Glasper, dia menang di Best R&B kan, Best R&B Song yang Better Than I Imagine gitu. Terus termasuk Thundercat ada di kategori Best Progressive R&B Album. Nah ini gue nggak tahu apa ini kategori baru atau enggak, tapi ini menarik nih, Best Progressive R&B Album gitu. Dan yang isinya di situ termasuk ada Glasper juga ya, karena Glasper ngeluarin album yang agak disensor ya, Fuck Your Feelings nih gitu ya, itu masuk juga di situ. Dan terus Contemporary Performance juga, Contemporary Instrumental Performance ya kalau nggak salah, itu yang menang Snarky Puppy yang waktu dia live at Royal Albert Hall. Dan di dalam situ yang gue inget juga ada si ini Gregory Mare dan sama Bill Frisell tuh. Itu gue akhirnya dengerin albumnya gitu, dan ternyata banyak mainin lagu-lagunya Frisell juga yang gue udah tahu. Gue kan orang yang ngefans banget sama Frisell nih, gue lumayan lengkap koleksi CD-CD-nya Frisell nih. Ya jadi gue tahu lagu-lagunya gitu, terus dibawa dengan format bersama harmonika, itu menarik banget sih. Jadi emang kalau buat teman-teman yang pengen ya cari referensi apa sih yang lagi happening gitu di luar, ya bisa dari Grammy itu sebenarnya gitu ya, kita mulai dari situlah paling nggak gitu.
Kalau gue kayaknya berani bukan berspekulasi lagi, gue berani mengatakan bahwa definisi nominasi kelompok baru instrumental R&B
sama progresif R&B sama contemporary instrumental ya.
Nah, progresif R&B sama contemporary instrumental itu adalah menurut gue itu adalah kehati-hatian panitia untuk tidak mengatakan jazz.
Yes.
Tidak mengatakan jazz. Sementara musik-musik yang apresiatif dalam artian memenuhi kriteria penghargaan yang lebih kreatif ya, menampilkan sesuatu yang baru, itu umumnya dimainkan oleh gue bilang nggak semuanya, sama pemusik-pemusik yang bersentuhan dengan jazz gitu. Jadi contemporary R&B sama progresif
R&B sama contemporary instrumental. Ya, paling nggak gini, kebayang nggak kalau memang dengan kata lain bisa dibilang adalah ya musisi jazz sendiri di Amerika, mereka itu terus develop gitu. Artinya terus develop. Bill Frisell tuh baru ulang tahun beberapa hari yang lalu, umurnya 70, dia masih bikin album kayak gitu, kan luar biasa sekali ya.
Dengan kata lain, mereka dari sekarang sudah tahu persis jangan mengganggu gugat jazz. Jazz, biarkan jazz. Yang lain-lain yang lebih kreatif kasih redefinisi lagi gitu. Itu yang baru. Menurut gue sih itu, mereka ingin tetap si jazz itu nggak bau-bau R&B, bau-bau elektrik atau asumsi saya pribadi.
Iya, tapi artinya tetap wadah apresiasi.
Ini.
Iya, tapi maksudnya gini kan, wadah apresiasinya tetap ada gitu. Artinya apapun yang mereka kerjakan itu akhirnya tetap mendapat apresiasi itu di recording academy terutama, sebenarnya kan gitu ya. Artinya kan ya kita tahun 2021 kita udah nggak bisa mengkotak-kotakan lagi sih menurut gua gitu ya. Tapi once it comes sama awarding gitu kan, mau nggak mau kan harus ada divided kategori per kategori. Gue salah satu speech-nya Thundercat tuh dibilang kayak, ya kalau misalnya mereka, kalau lo bilang ini progressive R&B album, ya udah ini progressive R&B album. Gue tuh nggak tahu apaan itu progressive R&B album. Gue cuman membuat musik yang gue pikir ya ini gue gitu. Menurut dia kurang lebih kayak gitu ya. Si statementnya Thundercat.
Orang yang pertama dengar Thundercat akan melihat ada sesuatu yang lebih di dalam albumnya, gitu kan? Tapi mereka menyadari bahwa ini tidak bisa dikategorikan sebagai jazz. Tapi betul. Mungkin Thundercat perlu diapresiasi nih.
Yes.
Main sama siapa-siapa gitu kan, ada keunikan sendiri. Nah, itu juga jadi dibuat khusus. Kita lihat aja tahun depan, tahun lalu ada nggak kriteria itu?
Kalau nggak salah kayaknya nggak ada. Jadi kan emang di Grammy gitu ya, ada kategori yang continuous, ada yang enggak gitu. Jadi emang ya kita lihat aja tahun ke depannya. Artinya kan paling nggak sekarang buat teman-teman musisi juga referensinya semakin banyak gitu. Dan ya kayak tadi gue bilang, kita udah nggak mungkin ngotak-ngotakin jazz, tapi kita juga harus, justru karena itu kita juga tahu ini gitu, ketika kita mulai dari jazz dan kita ada di mana sekarang gitu. Kalau menurut gue sih itu sih gitu yang nggak kalah pentingnya gitu. Jadi ya memang nggak bisa kita aplikasikan serta-merta ya, karena di Amerika kan itu udah bagian dari apa ya, bagian dari sejarahnya mereka gitu ya, udah tradisinya gitu ya. Kita kan di Indonesia terutama kan kita cuma berusaha menarik referensi dari sana gitu kan kira-kira.
Ya kita juga menyadari bahwa apa yang dikategorikan baru di Grammy Award sekarang di Amerika itu belum tentu bisa diaplikasikan di negeri kita gitu. Jadi dan juga seperti tadi mungkin tahun lalu juga udah berubah lagi namanya, tapi yang pasti ada suatu ketertarikan para penominator tuh apa istilahnya sih?
Ya, ada para juri.
Ada ketertarikan juri untuk memberikan wadah apresiasi bagi pemusik-pemusik tertentu yang punya warna-warna yang berbeda gitu. Jadi kalau memang tidak masuk dalam subkategori tertentu, mereka akan coba buat kategori tentunya dengan persetujuan yang lain. Mungkin demikian, saya juga nggak tahu.
Iya, betul sih. Ya gitu ya kira-kira teman-teman pembahasan dari Grammy kita. Seperti yang tadi di awal ya, dan di announcement yang sebelumnya udah gue sebutin, kita kan hari ini ngebahas Jazz Negeri Jiran nih. Ya mungkin nanti akan ada seri-seri Jazz Negeri Jiran berikutnya juga. Kali ini kebetulan yang bersedia untuk bergabung sama kita sebentar lagi nih ada Adriel sama Alton Wong. Mereka dari Malaysia, sekarang tinggal di Kuala Lumpur. Ya gue kenal udah cukup lama ya, pertama kali gue ketemu di 2018 di Singapura. Mungkin ini Kang Niman ya, supaya sebelum Adriel sama Alton akan bergabung, gue mau puterin videonya Adriel sama Alton nih. Jadi
tapi setelah video kan nanti Alton sama
ya setelah itu nanti jadi teman-teman jangan nonton.
Baiknya saya pamit dari sekarang aja ya.
Boleh Kang Niman mungkin. Ya, mungkin nanti habis ini Kang Niman gak ikutan karena kita ada Adriel sama Alton ya. Jadi jangan kemana-mana, nonton videonya. Ini karya aransemennya Alton dari Malaysian Traditional Folk Song ya. Kalau judulnya itu Jambatan Tanpa Ruli. Nanti kita akan ngobrol-ngobrol juga soal lagu ini.
Saya pamit dulu, kita jumpa minggu depan ya.
Oke. Siap. Oke. What's up? Yeah, can you hear me now? Okay.
Jakarta, KL, Bali, Taipei, Bangkok, and Tokyo.
Okay. Okay, now they can hear our voice, I'm sure. So,
Hi everyone.
ya teman-teman, so I'm gonna speak in bahasa Indonesia first. So ya teman-teman, ini sudah bergabung Adriel dan Alton. Mereka berdua ada di Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. So ya, how are you guys, Adriel and Alton?
Good. Yeah, we're good. Doing good. Hopefully things
Okay.
get better, then we'll be doing better.
Yeah, glad to hear that. Maybe this is the first time I'm trying to have the guests from foreign country. I mean, maybe the connection a slight delay will with that. We don't expect that, but yeah, but still cool. So
Okay.
no worry.
No worry.
No worry. Okay, so maybe we just start from the last song that I played, Jembatan Tanpa Ruli. So please, any of you, just tell me more about that song, like how you come up with that arrangement and why you choose that song.
Sure. So Jambatan Tanpa Ruli. So Jambatan, I don't know if in Indonesian means the same thing in Malay.
Yes, it's a bridge. Yeah, it's a bridge. Same thing in here.
Yeah. So Tanpa Ruli is a small little town in the state of Sabah, where we are from, Sabah, Malaysia.
Okay.
And so in Tanpa Ruli, there is a famous suspension bridge that crosses over a river. And so this suspension bridge is very popular among the locals in Tanpa Ruli and also for tourists visiting Tanpa Ruli. So it's a very popular attraction, and people actually use that bridge to cross the river to get between both sides. And so there is a famous folk song written by a Sabahan musician, and it's very famous among Sabahans, and it's about this bridge.
Okay.
So it's a very interesting melody. It's only a few bars. So in the beginning of the song that you played just now, that was the melody, where us, the saxophone player, played the melody, and then so I basically wrote a composition based on that melody. So
okay.
after the melody, I wrote some melodies, and then we did some solos, and then I introduced the team back at the end again. Right.
Okay.
But it's all about that kind of it's about the bridge. So that's where the inspiration for the composition came from.
So okay, that's nice to know. Like, so basically, it's not just an arrangement. So you wrote a new melody. You offer that melody from that particular song. Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess you have known that song since you were a kid, right? I think it's very popular amongst the Sabahan. You said like.
I mean, if you grow up in Sabah, you
yeah.
That songs that they are famous in Sabah, and this is one of it. Yeah.
Okay. So that's nice. So I'm gonna tell all my friends in Indonesia that the time I met you, the first time I met you. So we both met. We all met back in 2018. It was at a jazz at the Red Dot workshop in Singapore. So if I'm not forgotten, like we're not in the same ensemble right there, but I think we often had lunch together, so we get along. Because
we weren't in the but I was in the same ensemble with Michael.
Oh yeah, I remember that, Michael.
Yeah.
So maybe Michael is watching tonight. So apa kabar, Michael? Are you in Bali or in Jakarta? Because Michael is in Bali. I know that last year, maybe first few months of the pandemic, he went back to Bali. So I don't know if he's already back in Jakarta right now. So that video is taken from the our project. So the following year, 2019. So we met again, like me, Alton, and the other musicians from all over Asia. So the project is called One People Project. It was initiated by artists in Japan. So basically, they gather us, like Alton and Adriel from Malaysia. There's Chipin and Kaya from Taiwan. So us, Natakit from Thailand, and some others from Japan. So yeah, maybe that was the last time we met, right, in Tokyo. Almost 2 years.
Yeah, in Tokyo.
Almost 2 years ago. So yeah, I never met you in your own country. I mean, I never met you in KL, and you never met me in Jakarta as well. We met in Singapore, and last time we met in Tokyo. So it's just so funny. So yeah, that's maybe if you want to check out on Artist Green YouTube, there's a video. I also wrote a new tune for that project. So yeah, because because of this pandemic, we decided to go online. So yeah, we made video. Basically, we recorded at our home. So then we try to mix it together. So however, and yeah, finally we made it. So would you tell me about that process? I mean, recording at your own homes, things. Yeah, how difficult was that? And is there any obstacles or sort of problem you're having when you recorded? Because actually we recorded 2 tunes, right? One is we played together. The BOP by Yuki Arimasa.
Yeah.
So yeah, please tell me about it.
So me being a drummer, it's quite hard. It's quite hard to be able to record in your own home, especially like you're staying in an apartment like I am now.
Yeah.
So not only do I have to worry about my left and right neighbors, I have to worry about the up and downstairs neighbors.
Oh, okay.
So on my side, I actually did my recording in the studio. So I asked, I got in contact with a friend of mine, and we managed to I managed to go to his studio and record my tracks there. So then that was easy, because then I didn't have to worry if I was making too much noise.
yeah. So the main issue was the noise, right?
Yeah, that's my main concern most of the time.
Yeah.
The worst case scenario is you're recording halfway and then somebody knocks on your door and tells you to shut up.
and the sound will be bleed like someone knocking on your door.
Yeah.
So Alton, how about you? How did you record your piano part? I mean, for those 2 songs.
Yeah, for me, I didn't have to worry so much about noise, because all I needed was a MIDI controller, and I just plugged it into my AW, and then I just need to record. So yeah, so I could retake as many times as I want.
Yeah, of course. That's the advantages of tracking. Yeah. Yeah, before
so I can delete that note and create that note. So that was the first,
yeah.
I mean, of course, it's more fun to play. Yeah,
of
Of
course.
course, it's more fun to play live.
Playing live,
Then you can really put energy. But I mean, it's like both ways of recording had its own, perks, its own advantage. So this is one of it. Right.
Yeah.
Yuki's song, Bob,
The BOP.
that was like a really difficult. Yeah, first he mentioned it was a blues. I was like, oh, okay, sure.
Okay, but he changed all the progression. Yeah.
I tell you, I had to read over a few days.
Yeah.
I did my solo already, so I sent mine in, and then I heard Us's saxophone solo,
Yeah.
and then I was supposed to go after him.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
was like, I had to redo mine, so just like sound like that, like whoa, and then just like mine was like all
Yeah, yeah. You need
It sounds so bad.
that picture. I mean,
So-
you need to put that picture together so it sounds like very smooth and just
Yeah. So,
I totally understand, because I said to Yuki the same
So,
thing, like,
yeah.
okay, that's good. I mean, I can erase, I can copy and paste something. I think I think I didn't play the team 2 times. I only played the team 1 time, and for the last part, like, I just copy from my team from the first one to the last one. I think so.
yeah. So yeah, we're able to do that now, doing things online, Yeah, so that's one thing that's good
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it.
So yeah, maybe we're gonna talk
Ah.
about that. We're gonna talk more about that later. Maybe let's go back to the first time you started. I mean, maybe we don't have much time to explore when did you start to learn music, but I'm curious how you started getting to jazz world. I mean, how did you start it?
Yeah, I started because of him, so.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I don't know about that, but I mean, I started out like most pianists in Malaysia, started out with classical music.
Oh,
And
okay.
then I think I discovered jazz on YouTube,
Oh, okay.
right? Yeah, and then so I've been teaching myself how to play jazz, just listening to different albums on YouTube, and then watching tutorials, how to play a C major 7 chord. I like that sound. How do I play that? How do I all these cool tensions, right? It was like really cool when you first discovered it. And then after some time, I decided to take some lessons, but there weren't really any jazz pianists in Sabah. So occasionally, sometimes I would fly to KL, fly to Kuala Lumpur to have some lessons. Like 3 times a year. Just take some master classes, and then I started growing my interest in jazz.
Okay.
And then now I'm in college, pursuing contemporary music, but mostly I just play jazz.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Now I'm doing pop.
Yeah. I mean,
now I'm doing
same
pop
here.
too,
I think
you know.
it's same here. And most of the music college in Indonesia, they don't specifically name it like a jazz department, but rather than the pop and contemporary stuff, things like that. I think it's good for the market. I think I don't know. It attracts. Yeah, it attracts more students, obviously. So.
Yeah.
So Adriel, how about you, Adriel?
Simple thing.
How did you start getting to the word?
Well, so before playing jazz drums, I played mostly like rock and like metal stuff
Yeah,
with
okay.
my friends, high school. Then when my brothers started getting into jazz, then I thought like, oh, okay, it would be cool if I can play along with him. But then I didn't know how.
Okay.
So I mean, like pretty much what he did, like check out YouTube videos and stuff like that. And then sort of got the rough ideas, but I also had plenty of questions that were like kind of unanswered for a long time. But one thing good was the Jazz at Red Dot lah. When I met Greg Hutchinson, he really like opened my eyes. Like
okay.
He really showed me a lot of the things, and he kind of like paved the way. He guided me lah. So based from that one workshop, I kind of like it kind of like opened up a whole new perspective for myself. So since then, the way I approach jazz drum is very different than before that. Because before that, I was just very uncertain all the time, not sure what I was supposed to do and stuff like that.
So that's interesting to know. I mean, because I met you in 2018, did you join the first Jazz at Red Dot back in 2017?
Yeah.
Oh, so
No, I did not join the 2000.
Oh,
only
okay,
2008.
same like. So you started when
Yeah,
Jazz at the Red Dot.
I went for the 2007.
Oh, so
No, I went for the first. Yeah,
so you were there
yeah,
for 2 times,
Yeah,
but
I only went the
Adriel,
second one.
that was his first time in 2018, right? Okay, nice. But I'm that's
yeah,
it's interesting to know. Like, and I thought that yeah, when the first time I saw you, I thought like, okay, you have some experience in playing swing and stuff, but I didn't know at all that that was your first time, really serious, getting really serious into jazz business. I mean,
Yeah, because I mean, I watched like many videos, obviously, on that there's available on YouTube. So I kind of have a rough idea, but certain like personal questions, like comping, for example, these kind of things. There are people explaining comping out there, but sometimes you want a more easy to understand, like or more an answer that is more suited to yourself. So when I got the chance to ask like someone like Greg or
yeah,
even
yeah,
Ben with on the bass, so
yeah,
like I,
yeah.
I talked to them and asked them their perspective of what they like in the drummer and stuff like that. Then that really gave me like a straightforward kind of feedback. Yeah. So that gave me confidence in a way. Because then I knew like, okay, Greg Hutchinson said do this. So I know I can't go wrong if I do this. Because Greg
Yeah,
Hutchinson,
yeah,
this
yeah,
is the thing to
yeah,
do,
yeah.
right?
I know.
So that kind of confidence helps, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So we both agree like that particular workshops like open up everything for as for anybody who went
Yeah,
there. Yeah, and a year after I met you in Tokyo and we played together. So man, that's amazing. I mean, yeah, I said back in Tokyo, I said to you like it's amazing to see you how you progress. I mean, man, that's one of the
definitely.
nicest gig that I've ever did. Yeah, that I ever done. I mean, yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Besides, I mean,
I had fun playing your compositions as well.
yeah,
I enjoyed your Maja dance
yeah, the
or
Maja
Maha
dance, the
dance.
Maja dance.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I don't know how to
yeah,
Maja dance.
yeah,
That
yeah.
was that was a nice.
And yeah, and I heard like when I heard BOP, and I mean, you still sound amazing at BOP. So yeah, especially during my solo when you try to push, yes, like give some drives, like
That was the rock stuff.
yeah, yeah, I know, yeah. I mean, because yeah, it sound you can say like the sounds of organ and synthesizer, electric piano and stuff, and the rhythm is more like funk stuff. So yeah, I cannot play like straight bebop or straight swing 8 note things like this. So I have to to find out to slip on like some rock licks, some rock blues lick, things
Yeah, yeah.
like that.
You sounded nice on solo.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
I mean when I was so how it went was like everybody recorded everything and then I was the last one to add the drum tracks, right? So I got to listen to everybody's solo. Then I was like,
Oh yeah, yeah,
oh
yeah.
okay,
That's
interesting.
that's
So
your
like,
advantages there. I totally understand.
yeah, so they're like, all right, Arnando, electric guitar,
Yeah.
what can I play to make that electric guitar sound very nice? So yeah, I think that was a fun project. That one, yeah, fun too.
Yeah, and so yeah, from your experience, it's totally different how I get to jazz music. I mean, yeah, obviously you guys are YouTube generation. You can find out any information on YouTube. There's abundance of information there, because mostly I started by listening album and things like that. I also took some private lesson back then. But is there any artist, any album that you listened during your early years you got into jazz world? Is there any particular album or artist that you really listen to that become your main reference for jazz music?
Me when during that time, I listened mostly to like straight ahead jazz, the bebop stuff. So I listened a lot to pianists like Kenny Barron.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, I was like, I think my high school period was just Kenny Barron, Tommy Flanagan.
Father Tony, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you know, really like all the very clean playing. Then later on, when I got into college, I started to learn more about jazz harmony. And that's when I started to explore like McCoy Tyner. And then, of course, when I met Aaron Gold in Singapore.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Aaron also taught me a lot as well.
Man, I first listened to Goldberg maybe in 2020. Oh, no, 2010. So yeah, that's the first time I listened to Goldberg when he released the album Home. So have you heard that album Home, Aaron Goldberg? It's 2010.
Yeah.
Man, he was the monster, and the drummer was Eric Harlan. So man, that was a monster. He plays I Mean You. It's monster, man. Like, yeah, I never thought like in my life that I will meet him in person and learn from him. Yeah, you know. Yeah, that's just how it goes. I mean, jazz could take you to place that you never imagined. So they say it. So Adriel and you, is there any album or any musicians that you listen?
Right. So when I first started out, of course, I listened to like a few of like iconic albums, so to speak. Like Kind of Blue was on my playlist.
Oh, okay.
For a very long time. So it was like I was constantly listening to like that kind of jazz, and then but in my university years, I was listening a lot to Tigran Hamasyan actually.
Whoa,
So
nice
the
one.
more kind of like that. So like even his earlier albums like Red Hell. Those albums were the ones that like, oh, this guy crazy. And I sort of played more to that kind of jazz because coming from like a heavy rock metal drumming style, you know. So yeah, I listened to a lot of Tigran, and then also Avishai Cohen, the bassist.
Yeah, I know.
Like, yeah, because I was just captivated by the way he played the double bass. I've never seen anyone like tap it and all that. It's like, wow, very percussive. So that was very interesting.
Yeah, I think that's the era when Europe just start hitting US. I mean, like a name like Avishai moved to the state. Like before that, maybe you've heard Bjorn Svensson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think he was he was the first one of the first European just musicians that had succeed to the stage. Yeah, it's very nice to see. The color is totally different, but yeah, it's still jazz. It's still jazz music, but the way they present is totally different.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm so curious because you know, maybe I started I started to listen to jazz maybe in the mid 2000s, like around 2005 2006, but I never played before, and I haven't played jazz exactly since 2008. So I just listened to some album, and at that particular time, like I only the most I listened to the most recent one. I mean, maybe I listened to the traditional jazz, straight ahead jazz many years later after I exposed to that recent one. So things like fusion and R&B, funk and sort of things. So I'm so curious how you guys like find out Kind of Blue out of nowhere. I mean, how Alton you find Kenny Barron while Robert Glasper was everywhere that time, right? And am I correct? Like Robert Glasper was everywhere. So how did you do that?
I don't know. It was just on my YouTube.
Okay.
Because the first like jazz tune I heard on YouTube was Errol Garner's Misty.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's iconic. That's iconic.
Yeah. So I was going along that line. So even when there were like, newer ways of jazz appearing, like Robert Glasper, that kind of jazz, I was still going along that traditional jazz kind of
Okay.
way of learning jazz. So I don't know. I think, and YouTube's algorithm will just recommend things that you like to listen to. So that's, I think, how I discovered people like Kenny Barron. Yeah. So thanks to YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah.
Introduced me to Kenny Barron.
Yeah, it's very nice. So I'm having sort of connection problems, so we need to pause this a minute. I think I need to just just a minute. Maybe I need to restart everything. So I'm gonna play some songs so people on Facebook there they can listen to stuff first. Okay.
Okay.
That it's okay. Now we're back. Yeah, that's how things happen. It's the first time for me. I'm still experimenting with the software and everything here. So yeah, it's just like jazz. We have to improvise each time. So yeah, okay. I'm gonna switch. Okay. So now maybe, so you started playing jazz while you were in Sabah, right? I know. I don't know in person, but I know a few names from Sabah, like Joan Jim. I think she's from Sabah, right? Yeah, because Joan, I mean, maybe like 2 or 3 times during the Kota Kinabalu Jazz Festival, they asked Indonesian band to accompany her. I forgot what year, but yeah, I remember that because it's so you don't know how things work. Like Joan will flew here, have rehearsal with the band, and the fact is the band is not living in Jakarta. The band is from Bali, so those guys have to flew from Bali to Jakarta, and they met Joan in Jakarta. They have rehearsal together, and then the band flew to Kota Kinabalu to play together. So
we didn't know that.
that's the fact. Like because the band member is all the band member is my friend, so that's why I know Joan, but I never met her in person. So during your early years learning jazz, did you come to any jam session, or did you play a gig, like a jazz gig? Can you tell me about that?
There aren't many or at all jam sessions in Sabah. Most jam sessions are they are more like top 40 kind of, I think I would say pop music. So like I was first introduced to like a proper jam session in KL in Kuala Lumpur. So before I came here to study, then when I came over to visit, or take lessons, then there is this jazz club in what's this jazz club in KL called No Black Tie.
I know No
the
Black.
popular jazz. So there were jam sessions happening there. I think once a month, usually on a Monday. So yeah, those were like the proper jam sessions, jazz jam sessions that I first attended. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And you too, Adriel. I guess the same thing to you.
Yeah. Same for me. Yeah.
But
We will go together sometimes.
But you went to study to Penang, right?
Yeah. So I was studying in Penang, but I would frequently travel down to KL.
Oh man, really?
For lessons, because
Oh, okay.
actually,
Oh man.
yeah. So I was taking percussion lessons with my teacher who was based in KL. So I had to travel like almost every month for the first few years in my uni.
Oh.
Yeah.
So how
While I was here, sometimes I'll drop by jam sessions if they were happening.
So how was in Penang? Because I know I forgot the name. Who's the guy at the Penang jazz community? I forgot. Jerome Koa. Yeah. I met Jerome in 2016 in Bangkok. So yeah. Yeah, I knew there's a jazz thing happening in Penang from Jerome. So how was like in Penang like compared to what happened in KL?
Well, in Penang, when I first went to Penang, like my first year there, Jerome was one of the first few people I met, and he has a big band.
Yeah.
Even then, he was starting a community big band thing. I played for that big band for quite some time.
Okay.
I would go for the rehearsals. But he already had a drummer called Kane, so we would alternate stuff like that. Yeah, but it was mostly Kane playing.
Mm-hmm.
And then so Jerome was he's a friendly guy, so he brought me to places. And then in Penang, one of the venues to perform at is China House. And that one was like one of the most well-known there. Yeah, it's called China House. So it's a long establishment. So the first part will be like the restaurant. Then the middle part there's this.
Oh, I think I saw that on Asian Food Network. I saw that place on Asian Food Network.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I knew that. Yeah.
The last part was the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's based off the old architecture of the buildings. So they used to be like really wide, and so shop lots will be like really long there. Yeah. So it's quite interesting because we don't have that kind of architecture back in Sabah. So it was all new to me. So I found everything quite very new, interesting.
Yeah. Yes.
But yeah, definitely much more happening jazz music scene in Penang compared to Sabah. It's still not very big.
Yeah.
But more because like they have a big band and they had most of the high schools in Penang, I mean in West Malaysia generally, they also have a lot of like concert bands.
Oh, really?
And,
nice.
Marching bands and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the students here in West Malaysia, I think they are more exposed to like brass instruments and all that. So for them to get into jazz, perhaps it's like one step easier. But like for us in Sabah, who we went to, it did have a marching band, but it wasn't very active and then the equipment is like 100 years old.
Yeah, same thing in my high school.
Yeah. And even the notation is not Western notation, it's the numerical one.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah.
It doesn't write numbers.
Yeah, they only write numbers. Yeah. Same thing here.
So it's a very different experience, I would say, growing up in Sabah compared to West Malaysia. Yeah. So yeah, the scene there. So I mean in Penang. So it's quite interesting.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree with you. Jerome is a friendly person. I mean, what he did means a lot for jazz in Penang. I remember maybe I met him at the toilet. I mean, it was the second day of the TIGC in Mahidol University. So, and I passed this guy at the toilet, and he said, "From Indonesia, right?" Oh yeah, yeah. Because I went there with three others, my friends, from Indonesia, and we kept talking with bahasa Indonesia. So we didn't know that there are people will notice that. So yeah, Jerome, the first one who noticed that. I'm from Indonesia, right? And actually, he stayed at the same hotel with me, just different floor. So I didn't know until that moment in the toilet. So yeah, he was a nice person. So yeah, maybe I don't know that much musicians in from Malaysia, especially jazz musicians from Malaysia, but I know one name because when I was in Yogyakarta, I went to college in Yogyakarta. It's another city. So there's a festival. There's one unique festival called Ngayok Jazz. Ngayok Jazz is it's some abbreviation. So Yogyakarta Jazz Festival. So maybe back in 2009, they invited Albert Yap. Have you heard that name? Albert Yap Group. Albert Yap is a bass player. Yeah, he's from Malaysia. All the band members from Malaysia. There's a guitarist, pianist. I think the drummer is Louis Pragrasam, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you know Louis. You must know Louis. Like, that Albert Yap. He gave a kind of workshop, like 60-minute workshop. So yeah, that's the first time I met jazz musicians from Malaysia. And the guitarist is still young. I mean, about the same age as me. And he played a green Stratocaster. So yeah, I remember that time, Albert Young. And yeah, talking about Black Cat, So of course, here in Indonesia, we know Black Cat because many of us went there. They often, before this pandemic happened, they often called musicians from Indonesia to have a gig there. So what I'm going to ask you, and now you've been living in KL for a while, right? So how important is the role of jazz community, jazz clubs or concert hall? That how important that for the growing of the jazz itself?
I think it's very important.
Yeah, I mean, what happened
before the
in
pandemic?
KL? Yeah.
Before the pandemic, we had quite a few places that you can go and listen to jazz music. There was No Black Tie. We had this place called Alexis as well. They will also do regular jam sessions there, jazz jams. And then there's a place called Bobo KL. They also featured a lot of jazz acts. And then more recently, there is this place called Zhao Tim. At least four sort of well-known places that you can go and catch jazz music, and most of them will have regular jam sessions. It created, sort of like especially in like Zhao Tim, when it first started, it started mostly with jam sessions.
Mm-hmm.
So I was quite lucky to be like one of the first few people who, when they started, they didn't even have like the instruments, so I had to bring my own drums and stuff. But eventually, the owner invested some money and then got some instruments, and really did the place, set up the place really nice. Yeah, and then we started getting more new musicians coming. So
that's
the jam sessions.
That's I want to ask that. Is there more musicians coming? So you'll see like the new generations coming up more and more and more. It's nice to see that.
Yeah, definitely. College students will come. And they come and they come and jam. Some younger ones, high schools. Yeah. some of the teachers will also force their students to come. So,
Yeah, that's
and in
good.
Charlton, there are a lot of Lindy hoppers as well.
Oh,
So the swing dance.
yeah.
Yeah, so
yeah.
so the jazz musicians would play music, and then there'll be like people dancing as well.
Yeah, it's happening thing
So that
now.
was
Like,
the usual.
yeah, it's a happening
So
thing. Like,
before the pandemic, that was
maybe you know that guy from Singapore, Sinclair.
Yeah.
Sinclair. Yeah,
He dances
he
as well,
also
right?
do that swing dance thing. I think it's a happening thing now around the region. I mean, in Jakarta they have also that swing dance community that they often come to jazz gig and they just perform like swing dance and things like that. Yeah, just before the
Yeah.
pandemic. Just before.
Yeah. Before the pandemic.
Yeah, before this uncertainty happened, so everything seems alright.
Things were looking good, like before
Yeah.
the pandemic, like the jam sessions started to become like regular, and then the owner even started doing jazz shows. So you can go and catch jazz shows at the venue. Yeah. So I mean, all like it was quite happening the jazz scene before the pandemic, and we also have festival here. So we have this festival called the Malaysian Piano Jazz Festival.
Malaysian
Jazz
Jazz Piano
Piano
Festival.
Festival.
So that one that Alton enroll and win, right? That one that you
Yeah.
enroll and you win. Okay. Good, champ. Congratulations,
So
champ.
it's happening again, this year. Thank you. long time ago. Yeah, but now that things have to look better, shows are coming back slowly if there is no sudden surge in cases. Then I mean if things get worse, then we have to close everything again. But now that things look better, so this jazz festival is happening again in April.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh man, nice.
Yeah.
Is
But
it?
it's
Will it be an hybrid event or just online event or just like regular event like offline?
Live.
it's good, but I think at half capacity. So there's still some SOPs in place.
Oh, okay.
So we still have to follow certain SOPs. But I'm not sure if it's a hybrid. Yeah, hybrid?
No, so I mean they'll be selling tickets, but we can't sit in full capacity in the performance hall, an auditorium. No, I don't. So maybe if it could only fit 100 people, then maybe only 50 people can sit in there. Yeah, but at least there are things that are going on.
Oh man, that's good. That's really good. Yeah, that's really good. I mean, compared to what happened in here, I think it still take more time to restore everything back. So far the hybrid event is the most possible one we could do, but I don't know on the business side is it going to sustain or not. So let's hope. Let's hope for the best.
Really,
I mean most of those guys they need to consider the business side. I mean, but us we just want to play, right? We just want to play. We just want to make music and have a good time there. But those guys they must consider the business side. So how about so records from Malaysia, and this one I also really want to know because before this show I texted Alton, is there any name of Malaysian that musicians that you want to play so? I put on a playlist and I will share it tomorrow, so all of you guys could listen to it. So I include that name that Alton gave me. So how about jazz record in Malaysia? I'm surprised to listen that name because I never heard before. So can you tell me more about that situation? Is there musicians? What is the trend? I mean, is they really like more to going live, or they really like more to make a records, or what is happening there?
I mean, I think, so we can't really do any, before this, the past year, no live show, so we couldn't really do much live recording and stuff like that. But for like jazz albums, before the pandemic, there were a few that came out. I'm sure some are in the list that Alton sent to you. Some of those are pretty recent albums that just came out last year or 2 years ago. And then this year I was recently, just 2 weeks ago, I was in the studio recording album with a jazz band. So there's at least gonna be one coming out.
Oh, nice to know.
Yeah,
I was looking forward.
Yeah,
I'll look forward.
if
Don't
it
forget
all
to
goes
send.
well, it should be out by the end of. So,
Oh, okay.
definitely share it with you.
Yeah, you should share it with me.
That one's quite interesting. The music's interesting. So the leader of that band, Mr. Jazz Young, he really, his arrangements and all very interesting to play.
Oh, okay.
And I think you were playing some of their songs just called WVC Jazz
What?
Ensemble.
What? Oh yeah. WVC Trio +1, right? Okay. Yeah, that's nice. That's
So,
nice.
The playlist.
Yeah, I listened to it. That's nice.
Yeah,
Ah, okay, nice to know.
so new album coming out this year with them. And then for my brother and I also, we're planning to make an album as well. Hopefully this year too.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it's a long due for me. Like my producer already like warned me. Like, I mean, you don't have much more time. You have to do it this year. Okay, I said like, yes, because as you know, like before this thing happened. I mean, because before this pandemic, like people get busy with gig and me like in 2019, like I flew abroad like maybe 4 or 5 times a year in 2019. So one of them is in Tokyo, and the other like the others like I flew to Singapore back and forth like that time. So it's pretty busy. And then suddenly we have to stay at home. So what is happening in here, like the numbers of new releases in Indonesia for the year 2020, like I think more than 20 release, more than 20 new release. It never happened before.
Wow.
Before was only maybe like 5 to 4 release a year. Yeah, because they have nothing to do now. Maybe they thought like, okay, it's time for me to work in the studio or working from home and do something. And some of them are the long overdue project. I mean, maybe they've done recording back in 2019, 2018, but I don't know what is the reason they keep holding it then until 2020. Okay, let's try. Maybe we can make some fortune out of it. Let's just release it. I don't know. So but that's good. I mean, also that makes me think like, okay, no, I have much time that I always ask for before this. So I need to finish my things. So and so maybe there's one thing in my mind, like of course, like same here in Indonesia, jazz music is not that first genre on demand, right? Like maybe they still listen to pop in here, like they still listen to dangdut. Dangdut is like that kind of pop, the Indonesian pop, but it's dangdut, things like that. So it's a niche market. Only a few numbers of people who really listen and buy jazz record, who really buy tickets for concert. So having a jazz community is very important here. Also, same thing in Malaysia. So at least we can exchange idea. We can grow together. So and lucky for us that I find a way that we can connect like countries in the region. I mean, Asia. We can of course because of the help of Yuki and the others at the artist in Japan. So they make that thing happen. So do you think important, I mean, to grow together, to build our own identity, like jazz in Asia? So what do you think, guys? Like, how important to connect to other country around the region?
Yeah, I think it's very important to not just stay in your little circle, in a circle within your own country, and that's why there were like events. I mean, we're so lucky to be staying in this region of Southeast Asia, where every country is so other, that you're able to fly to Bangkok to attend a jazz conference in March, then fly down to Singapore to attend another jazz workshop in April. And you can be a part of Artist Week. That way you build, the jazz community, built. It's not just like Indonesia, it's Indonesia, Malaysia, it's Malaysia. So the jazz community, people get to know each other more, and then you get to play with other cultures. So I think that's important for jazz to continue to grow, and for other people from different countries to inspire each other.
So yeah, I agree with you that maybe we live in that era that we can fly everywhere easily and quite affordable for now. I mean, like, if we look back 10 years ago, I mean, yeah, it's still hard to be able to fly. I mean, for us Indonesian, maybe the regulations, the immigration rules and thing, so sort of that nonsense thing, like